Okay. It is 10 o'clock, Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. We'll call this meeting to order. We're here for a discussion on the North Fork of the Coeur d'Alene River FEMA lot cleanup. And I have Ms. Carol Young down here to start us off. So, ladies, tell us what crazy thoughts you've been having.
Well, the two FEMA lots that we're talking about are near Bumblebee Bridge. They've been an eyesore for a number of years, packed with tansy, and also have turned into a bit of a blight. I have taken out, I think, 6 pickup truckloads of squatter garbage that were up against the back end of the properties, and I probably have another at least 2 to 3 to go. Yeah, that'll get out of there. But yeah, the lots were completely a mess and a blight and full of weeds. So the weed department, we had a little extra money from that, and so we sprayed it with a pre-emergent, so it'll last longer. The seeds that are in the ground, which stay in the ground, some of them up to 8 years, depending on what the weeds are. So they're at least treated, which if we leave the lots even the way they are or put a covering over them, we'll need to re-spray again in the spring too, no matter what, just to keep just to knock it down the rest of the way, because it was so infected. I mean, these were probably the worst of the worst weed infested lots that I've ever seen. So,
nothing but weeds.
Yes. So anyway, did you get a chance to go see them, Dave? Okay, here is, I call them Lot 1 and 2. Lot 1 is the closest one to Bumblebee Bridge, and I just brought some photos to kind of show you what they look like now. Before, we didn't know what was under there because we couldn't tell. There were a lot of high spots and low spots throughout the lots, but we had a contractor come in with a masticator and even it out and spread it out. So at least we can see what we have now.
Yeah.
Before, we didn't even know what we had. This is Lot 2. This is the second one up.
Night and day.
Yeah, at least they're usable now. We can, at least you can see what they are now. These were the contractor that did the masticating. He also went above and beyond, and these trees in lot number 2, they had branches that went clear into the ground, and he trimmed those up about 8 to 10 feet there, so clean those up. Lot 2 does have a power. I mean, it's dead and everything, but I mean, it does have power to it. We had it at one time, so there's the power pole to it. So it's good to know it has power, that it had power at one time. These are, on Lot 2, these are dead cottonwoods. They're very tall. I don't know how many feet, I'd say 40, 50 feet, I would say. So, no matter what, they need to come down anyway.
We can get those out of there.
Would they fall right up? Would they fall right on the
power lines? They might. They're a ways from the power lines.
They're leaning towards it, or
they're not leaning per se right now, but
okay.
But cottonwoods have shallow root balls, so at some point, especially that dead.
How far away from the power?
Oh gosh, I'd say a good 10 feet.
10, I'd say
10 feet.
only about 10. Yeah.
Maybe a vista.
Yes, I didn't contact them because I wanted to talk to you first.
Okay.
But if you would like, I could contact them.
Yeah, it would be a good option to ask them. They may remove them for free.
Exactly.
Because but then they may not.
So then
they'll know that they're bad and we'll have to take care of them.
Well, I know a logger. Loves taking down trees.
Yes.
A one-legged one?
A one-legged logger.
Yeah, so
I will volunteer him.
There you go.
You have him take Avery up there too.
There you go.
Yeah.
He and my Lord, would they have fun? But seriously, we could get that out of there without it costing anything. That is like the least of the concerns.
And probably be good before snow flies.
So these are on which side of the river?
These are,
On the east
I'm going up on the,
Old side.
old side, yeah, on the new side, the new side of
On
the
the
river.
news side of the
Yes.
river.
Isn't the lots
It's,
right where the Bumblebee Road is here, and then they're up here?
Where the bridge,
Right.
you know, if you're going north, you would turn onto Bumblebee Bridge to go to the, you know, the new side or the old side. They're on the new side right there at the corner. They're the lots that.
So this is the road to Bumblebee, and
Yeah,
the bridge is here,
exactly.
and then the lots
They're
are here.
like right here and here.
Okay.
And
they're-
there's the cell
Yeah,
signal.
and they're both just over an acre, so there's some size there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a very convenient place. You know, eventually we're going to turn it into parking because people take in and out at the Bumblebee Bridge there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they're floating upriver, they get out at Bumblebee, or if they're floating down, they get in at Bumblebee and go down.
I
And
wonder
since-
if they can slow the road down right there.
Bingo.
Yeah, that's what we've
With
been
a
talking
flashing light that slows a
Pedestrian
bit and a
traffic.
pedestrian crossing.
Mhm.
But here's the thing. Whether they do or not, if we can get them parking there instead of on the other side of the bridge and clogging up the whole area,
Mm-hmm.
our shuttle, if the shuttle can pick them up right there, because then I can charge, you know, that was our big concern was most people don't carry cash on the river. So if they have their credit card and I can swipe it right there, number one, if I'm picking up at the parking lot, I'm going to drive them over there to that site so that they're off the roadway and
Okay.
get them down into the river. And then our pickup would be down at Freeman Eddy, a few miles down the road. So like everybody drops in at Bumblebee and takes out at Freeman Eddy or at Albert's. So we could, you know, take them, drop them on the other side, which is what I would like to see happen just from a safety standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Park it, jump on the bus, we'll drive you over there. Because I'd also like to have one that goes up to Steamboat also and take out at Hooks. So either way, you know, we can get them moving off the roadway and get those cars off the roadway. These are really good lots. We could put a lot of cars in there.
They are. And there'll still be some people that want to walk across the road,
Yeah.
but they're doing that down at Mike Thomas's place anyway. There's a huge amount of walking traffic right there.
Yep.
So,
and that's a real dangerous spot.
Yeah, and throughout the river, the whole river. I'm not even up there on the weekends, but there's
It's a nightmare.
people crossing. But if we, you know, I think with some signage and if we could paint the pavement there, it would help, and the flashing lights or something would help with that, just to keep people safe. And but yeah, there's been some people that have, just when I've been out there working, that have stopped by and said, "What about concessions here for selling pop and water and things like that?" And one lady wanted to ask about, in fact, the lady that lives right there, her husband was asking if it might be possible for her to put a little pop up there too
For her garden,
her gardening stuff,
fresh veggies and things. I
Yeah.
said, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, so just from being there, there's already been a couple of people asking about concessions there.
We have.
It's nice we have a property owner that.
Yeah.
He has been very nice.
Yeah.
They're both very nice people.
Good.
They've been, been very nice to me. So
Very supportive now.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
very
So,
supportive of that.
Yeah, and we're talking about it might be a good place to have a dumpster there also.
We could put
Yeah.
dumpsters, Friends of the River could put a dumpster there, because that would take a big burden off Bumblebee dumpsters also. And I've already decided, as far as the ones upriver, Graham Creek was a waste of money. They're just putting them up at the Y, which we have dumpsters there, and then the dumpsters at the Fish and Game, so I can allot the one from Graham Creek to go down to this parking area if we can get it.
But it would take a lot of gravel or some kind of surface material.
Has it been
Just-
remediated?
I called Panhandle Help and DEQ, and it's been FEMA remediated. So when they
Doesn't
were
need
declared, when they
anymore.
were turned
Yeah.
over to the county. So
Doesn't need any-
Now,
yeah,
it used to be that we used to get a yard of gravel for a lot,
Exactly.
yeah.
which
How many
we're
of
not
our
getting. So
how many of our neighbors would Annie? I said I will. I just said this
Really?
morning. I said I will donate my yard
Yeah.
a year
Yeah.
to the lot, and I'm sure a lot of other, because we, if you're giving it anyway.
Mhm.
And you call Zanetti's and, you know, they say, yeah, bring your little certificate or whatever. We'll pick it up from you. There's that. And then Zanetti's, as a rule, has been so generous to the community. And I bet they would be, you know, on board with helping somewhat, and maybe even Woods Crushing, which I will gladly go visit Brian Woods and, you know, say, come on, you're right here. And we really need some community, you know, help on this. So
the sites would need gravel. Are there any other needs you identified that we need to turn them into parking?
You know, on my want list, I'd have like security cameras, but those are not expensive. Get, you know, maybe a couple
Right,
cameras up
getting
there.
cans up in those trees.
Roads to do some kind of approach on it to see how that's going to work.
Yeah. And then maybe some Jersey barriers that show the entrance ways on both sides of there, because they both have driveways to them.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if we had some Jersey barriers there to show this is where you enter,
Designate.
that would be good.
And then as far as the parking spots, you know, as you drive in, I was thinking, you know, eventually it will become like, oh, okay, I need to park next to that one and that one and that one. But in the beginning, if we just even had orange stakes, you know, the tall orange stakes that we could say, here's one, we'll put maybe like 3 at the front of where the car pulls in and 2 on, you know, 1 on each side at the end behind the car. So then the next car, you know, goes in there and that, you know, so we got just to give people a guideline for their lots or for their parking spaces.
Now, do these lots touch each other?
No.
Okay.
There's the
Unfortunately, they don't. There's a
house
house
in
in
between.
between. Yeah.
What's in between?
There's a house in
The
between.
man whose wife wants to pop up with her veggie
Yeah.
garden. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it kind of is like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
super nice people. Super really nice.
So how many cars do you think you can put in those lots? Just by,
I don't know in an acre. I don't know how many cars can fit in an acre.
is it just one acre each?
Yeah.
Oh, 1 acre lot each?
Each. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
I mean, it'll
But
be
they'll-
hold some cars.
Yeah.
that'll
definitely.
hold some car. I can't imagine that they would hold less than 20 or less than 50 each.
Yeah.
You know, if they're
Maybe if they're done correctly, it could
Right.
be way more.
Right.
And let's face it, we got that much going on, you know, the Bumblebee Bridge on the side by the dumpsters.
Mhm.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's easily 50 cars in there at any given time in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And emergency services has trouble getting around.
Well, for me, I'm a visual guy, so I need to go drive this with you and actually see it because I'm having a hard time picturing exactly where we're talking here.
Okay. It's 5 miles up the river.
Ooh.
I know.
I remember the lots. I remember where they're at,
Yeah.
but
You can't.
I didn't see them clean.
You gotta come. You can't
Yeah, they
believe
look different now.
what she
Yeah.
had done. You can't
Yeah.
believe what Carol
Because
did.
it looks like, I mean,
Yeah.
now it looks like a parking lot.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
The guy
And we need
leveled
that.
it.
We've needed a parking lot there for 15
Yeah.
years probably. I mean, the river on the weekends.
Yep.
Yeah, that's neat.
is
It's
something
right there
else.
too.
Yeah.
And being able to just grab them there and cross the bridge, drop them, let them go floating down the river, you know, towards Alberts, pick them back up, bring them back in.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
So if we were going to charge for parking, which has been the model we've been talking about, would it be better to end up charging a county parking pass that lets you use any of the lots that we
I think
develop
that
up
would be
the
wonderful.
river?
Good.
So that you
That's
That's a
could,
great idea,
then
dude.
you'd be flexible to use.
And you put a sign up there with all those fancy QR codes that
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
that's right.
use now.
That's a great idea. Ooh, and we could just put a post in the, you know, in front of each parking space with a QR code for them to do, and the money goes right to the county.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea, guys. Because I wasn't sure how we were going to manage that whole thing. And it's the key is we've got gorgeous cell coverage there.
Oh, wow.
So-
So it'll just hit it right there.
Hit it right there.
It's a great spot.
It is.
It really is.
Wonder how much that is for, that probably not that much for a sign. And
I don't know, but I'm sure we could talk to Coeur d'Alene, who uses that system all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
and figure out how they got into it and who their vendor was. And
yeah,
but then the software is already developed,
Right.
yeah.
so people can zap the QR code and pay.
Usually, whoever your bank is, I don't know who the county uses as their bank, but I know, like, I use Bank Coeur d'Alene, and they want to develop a QR code for Friends of the River, where it's, our trash bag dispensers have a tag right on there that people could do, and then it goes right into your bank account. So I don't know how the other counties are working this, but I imagine it's something like that. It goes into the treasurer's, account or whatever, and then you.
On Coeur
they
d'Alene, I
develop
think it
the-
goes to a third-party vendor, and then they pay the
Do
city.
diamond parking, maybe.
It's some parking because they've developed the apps for the phones and all the.
But the banks already have that.
Yeah, the banks already have the QR
I
code.
wouldn't go through
Yeah, we'll just have to see how
it. Ditch
that
the
all
brokers
works.
if we can. Yeah, because
Okay.
Anyway, the major first step has been completed now, and
Good.
some
Yeah.
things to think
it's
about.
almost like more than the first step between getting the property leveled and sited and everything. So when can we go? Let's go
And
for a
we
field
have-
trip.
We have happy neighbors.
Got happy neighbors.
Yeah,
That's a
he's-
huge thing.
Yeah,
That's
he
the-
was great.
That's a biggie.
Yes.
I was-
Very
Yeah,
big.
he was.
So the idea
When I
of
heard that,
parking there doesn't bother them at all.
No, well, I think that they prefer not, but he told me, well, we knew that it was going to be something someday, and it's in progress is progress. So he didn't say anything negative to me.
They could probably sell
Nice.
water and stuff
Right,
like that. and
right.
They could, they could do a.
Oh yeah, they could do a vendor
Vendor
thing.
thing.
Oh, it'd be
But what we
wonderful.
could do is we could issue a concessioner's license for a small fee
Mhm.
that we could control who does and doesn't vendor.
Yes.
And then we could make a couple bucks for the county and encourage
Mm-hmm.
vending, but control so that
Right.
you know what you're selling up there.
Right.
So we don't open a beer stand.
Well, you know what would be the big seller there? Floaties. Water and floaties
Yeah.
would be the two.
And an air compressor.
And an air
There you go.
compressor.
Now we got power right there.
That's right. We got
That's
everything.
right. That's right. It's a great
really-
location. Yeah, so I just wanted to let you know how far we've come, and we'd like to get together with you and
Drive up.
go drive up and take a look at it.
We might want to take P&Z, take Dan
Yeah,
up there.
that would be good.
And have him
Mhm.
look it over and
That's a great idea.
Yep.
And maybe Jessica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
So maybe next week we could get something put together.
Yes.
Guys, let us
Yeah.
know.
Whenever you can.
So problem is we can't take more than one commissioner at a time.
yeah,
Oh,
you can go
okay.
up there. That's fine. I'll go look at it one of these.
Okay,
I might just
we
go
can-
up there this week.
Yeah, give me a shout. I'll
Yeah.
drive up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, I'd
reach
like
out
to
there
see
too.
how
We'll
Sid's
take it.
doing.
Yeah, we'll get him to bring his chainsaw.
There
That'll
you
make
go.
his legs happy.
Really?
But he likes doing it so much that he's like, okay.
Yeah. So good. Well, I appreciate you all meeting with us and getting kind of acquainted with the ideas and get your ideas and
Hmm.
Appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot of good
Very
things can
grateful.
happen.
the ultimate goal has always been in the last year or two a series of parking spots that the public could access legally and get them off the street,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and the convenience of a shuttle system.
You guys would be major heroes in this
Yeah.
community if you did that.
Definitely.
Major.
And I think people would appreciate not getting towed and not getting tickets. So
Right.
It's a part of the solution. It's it's kind of a win-win there for us and for the community, people, the recreation people that come to visit our
And
county.
if we can figure out a way to honestly make income off of visitors to pay for trash and pay for all the expenses that come with visitors,
And policing.
Mhm.
Yes,
the policing and the trash. And
that would be, if you can get that QR code thing going or whatever. Like I said, with the cell signal there's so many options that we at least would have available for the county to make money on.
okay.
I don't know if you'd want to rope it off at night to prevent the squatters.
I mean,
It was quite the cleanup.
Or just a sign.
just
that
a
says-
cable between
sign
the
that says
Jersey
closed after
barriers.
this and
Yeah,
any parking
closed
violation
after
will be
7
towed.
o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Will be
No
towed.
camping,
Yeah.
no
Right.
squatting, and don't
Right.
drop your garbage.
No
Yeah.
kidding. Oh my gosh. It was something else.
Oh, we have the same problem up the East Fork of Pine Creek.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I
yes,
mean,
you do.
truckloads,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. The
truckloads.
stuff that people left.
One of them looks like they started a recycling center
Oh.
in the middle of the creek bed.
Ugh.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was pretty bad. It was. I mean,
Well,
they just left everything.
That's our biggest dilemma around the country. Even it's just what people are just dumping garbage everywhere. I don't get it.
In one of these sites, they had a fire, I guess a campfire, but there were no stones around it. There was nothing around it to. It could start a fire.
With all those weeds.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
And that's what scares me to
fire
death.
here.
Just right in the weeds.
Unbelievable.
But then some of the folks that are doing that don't have a great deal of apathy about what happens to the
Right.
Yeah.
to the area. So
They just leave.
okay, I'm going to ask Sydney to help us coordinate some times
Okay.
so we could go out and take a look.
Okay.
My goal would be next week while the weather's still good. And,
Get my calendar going.
okay.
And,
all righty.
Great. Wonderful.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys. Thank you
Public
so much.
Comment? Public
Yes,
comment?
Mr.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
do public
I do.
comment.
That is 50 miles an hour up in that area, right?
Yeah.
How far up is it from where the 35 stops?
Not far. It's roughly 3 miles.
3 miles?
3.5. Maybe I have to measure it again, but yeah, and that's an area where the community has asked for a very long time, a lot of the community, to have that whole, from like 76 station to Bumblebee at least, slowed down because it goes 35, 45, 35, and 50, which is ridiculous within a 5 mile zone.
Is there homes that were, the bus stops?
Well, mine is one of them.
Is there?
Oh, right there, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. As they go upriver, possibly check. Is it Jacobson Lane? I need to check on that. But the bus station could tell you, because I know they go upriver, picking kids up all up and down the river. Yeah, the Snake Pit is the first one.
Last question. When Yellowstone rerouted the pipeline,
Uh-huh.
did they put dirt on that property?
They put her on it.
They
Not
put
that I
dirt,
know.
they put
I
dirt
don't-
in that big field.
It's in the drain, the ditch area by the road.
Okay. Is it hooked to that big field just above? You know what I mean?
Oh, you're thinking of the property on the center. In the center. No, it would not be the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? What's up with that part? Oh, okay. Tell me later. Tell me later.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Beener?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, then we'll roll forward and with some research.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you,
Okay.
ladies, for taking the time.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
We're
having
adjourned.
us.